make sure you stay on the high time frames. And like the thing is, like, do you think anyone will have an idea where these entries are coming from? No idea, right? Look at the
No way.
and did I even go to a 1 minute or 5 minute time frame? No, but look at the precision. See that? Okay, you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. So I'll show you more examples. That way you will understand it. Okay, so let's see about POIs. Yeah, let's get back there itself. Let's come from here to yeah, and also like I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna give you sniper entries every single time. Okay, like sometimes we will have this set up very clearly, but then the market does this. That happens. But as long as you know how to manage your risk, okay, you do not have to worry about the losses. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the thing. You don't have to worry about the losses because see, like for example, yeah, here we go. A nice example. See, what is this? This is a strong high, right? Liquidity taken. Okay, structure broken. Perfect. Strong high. We have liquidity below it.
Yeah.
But did the resistance hold? No. Yeah, it did hold though because it never went above the strong high. See that? It never went above the strong high, but obviously, like you're not gonna take a sell here and then place your stop loss above that high, right? That'll be too many pips. Let's see. Yeah, 30 pips. Are you gonna have a 30 pip stop loss? No, no way. I will not. Okay, because I remember this because I got stopped out in here. Okay, like try to refine it to a lower time frame, sold it, and yeah, stopped out. Okay, because see this the 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 drawdown was too much. See, I used the 5 pip stop loss or something, and this happened. Okay, so don't worry, don't worry. Like I told you, as long as you know how to manage the risk, you don't have to worry about the losses. Okay, so I'll show you more examples. Yeah, look at this one. Where did this tap into? Took out this swing high, took out this swing high, tapped right into the open close level. Tapped and boom. Look at this one. This was FOMC. Okay, I'll show you a trade with FOMC. Hmm. Can you see that the market has broken above this swing high? Can you see that? A bullish break. You can
Yeah.
see a bullish breakup very clear. Not with this wicks, but once you got a body closing in here. So which means now this low turns into a strong low, right? Liquidity taken out and structure broken. So what did I tell
Yeah.
you? When a strong low is created on a lower time frame, where does your focus go into? To the higher time frames, right? I told you now. On the 4 hour
Yeah.
time frame, this is a strong low. But if you try to pick up your POI from the 4 hour itself, how many do you have? You have an order block. Okay. You have a rejection block or as a support. You have another support in here. Are you gonna buy from all three of them? You can't, right? You can,
Yeah.
but you'll get stopped out many times. Okay, but that's why we go into the higher time frames. Now, if I go to the daily, what do we have? A support in here. See that? For our strong low,
Yeah.
there goes our support in here. Now you can maybe go into lower time frames and then refine this level. You can play around this level. Okay, so if you go to the H1, let's check. Yeah, we have this liquidity taken out. Yeah, let me make the line straight like this. Yeah. Now look at this. You can maybe refine this one into the 1 hour support that is in here. Can you see it? I told you. Okay, now you
Yeah.
can slight refinements. Okay, you're not gonna take this and then take it somewhere around here. That's wrong. Okay, just slight refinements, 2 to 5 pip refinements. Maybe take this, take it here. See that? Taking it here. Okay, so now let's see what the market is gonna do. Now, if you understand about ranges, you will see that the current range you have is from here to here. Okay, from here to here. And then this right here is the internal range liquidity. This is your high time frame point of interest. Okay, now this day we have FOMC coming at 11:30 p.m. Okay, you know what FOMC is, right? So FOMC comes at
Yeah. Yeah.
11:30 p.m. Okay, so now look what they're doing. What are they doing? Look at this. Equal lows. Building up, building up. So right below that, what's our point of interest? A daily support. See that? They're feeding liquidity into that daily support. So are you going to make any unnecessary moves in here? No, you're not.
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, not only liquidity in here. Look at this trend lines.
Yeah.
See that? Perfectly playing out from a trend line. So before news, this stuff happens. Okay, it goes from supports, it plays from resistances, it goes from trend lines and all that stuff. But patiently wait. Okay, patiently wait. What happens now in the next hour? News comes and then boom, there it goes. See that? Stopped out everyone. Where did it tap into? Now you see where it tapped into, right? Into the
Yeah.
is this a
Daily.
just random 1 hour like support or rejection block? No, it's a daily level. Okay, it's a daily level. So what happens? You enter at internal range liquidity, you exit at external range liquidity.
External rates.
Okay, so what happens? Oh, news. You're done. See that? So pretty strong stuff. Okay, it's pretty strong stuff. So all you have to do is just understand the logic behind it, because I told you about this setup, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened here, but like not the same though, because if it looks exactly the same, then anyone will make money in this market, right? It's not that clear, but it's the same exact thing, right? See, we had a strong low. Okay, we had a strong low. We had liquidity above it, but not like this, but like this. Liquidity above it. We had a support that was on the daily. So what happens? It started flying. See that? So these levels are very important. Okay, so I'll show you more examples. Let's see. Where do we have proper zones? Let's see. Yeah, we were in here. Look at this. Yeah, where did this step into? Resistance. See that? Ah, yeah. Yesterday I was, not yesterday, I think it was 2 days ago. I was showing one of my students, like he asked me how I got this. I got an entry somewhere around here. Yeah, I'll show you. Look at this. Okay, now if I go to the H1, what do we have in here? A strong high, right? What is that?
Yeah.
Why is that? Because it has taken out liquidity and it has
Break
broken
of structure.
structure. The thing is, now if you try to pick up a POI from this time frame itself, can you do that? No, right? Look how messy it is. So many weeks. So what do we do when a lower time frame strong high is created? We always jump into the higher time frames, right?
High
So
time
if you
frame.
go to the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? We have a resistance in here. Why are we marking this one out? Because these ones are already mitigated. This is the fresh one.
Mitigated.
Okay. But then again, if I go to the daily time frame, where's your daily point of interest? See that?
Just
Yeah. So which one are you going to use? 4 hours the daily? Obviously the daily,
daily.
right? Yeah. So why? Strong ones. Okay, you're going to use the strong ones. So now if I go back to the H1, now once again, we have that same exact setup I told you about. Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Right here. Liquidity and the sell. So where's the liquidity? Here we have a swing
Just
high
below
very
it.
clearly. A swing high. Now this is not just random swing high. Okay, this is not just a random swing high. This is not just a swing high liquidity, because now you know how, like, what people teach, right? Oh, there we go. These full bodied order blocks are strong, right? This is something like a drop base and a drop. Okay, this is what, this is
Yeah,
the supply.
mark the zone and
Okay, so
lower
yeah.
time frame.
Now once price gets here, and with the slightest break you get on a 1 minute time frame, there comes everyone jumping into sell, 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 sell. But
Yeah.
you have to understand what, there is a daily zone in here. So why would it reverse from a 1 hour zone, right? What's stronger? 1 hour is the daily, obviously the daily. So
Daily.
these are going to get taken out. Okay, people are going to sell here. So that will create a pool of liquidity in here. See that? So what are we doing? When everyone else is selling it here, we sell it here. Stop loss can go above these wicks. See that? So you have around what? 5 pips. And then you can target the external range liquidity. Once again, let's talk about ranges later. Okay, I'm only showing you the POI. So you can sell here, enter at internal range, exit at external range, like this. Okay, so you get the setup, right? So now, do you think anyone will have an
Yeah.
idea what this is? No.
No.
No idea. Just a random line out of nowhere. But look at the reaction from that random line. Oh, there it goes. What is it now? Now you know that, right? This will be a daily point of interest. And then
Yeah.
comes the drop. See that? Did you see where it came from? From a higher time frame. Okay, like even like right now, let's go there. Like the current price action on GU. Do you have any idea where it reacted from? Any idea where
No.
this reacted from? No idea, right? No idea on this time frame. Go to the monthly. Where is it reacting from? There we go. A support.
Monthly support.
See that? So where is the move coming from? Can you see that now? So
Yeah.
very strong levels. Okay, so these are very strong levels. See, that is why news flew up, because it was on a support. When it is in a support, do you think news is gonna come down? No. Supports are meant to take price higher, right? Resistance are the ones that are meant
Yeah.
to take price lower. So when news comes, when price was on a monthly support, can you expect the market to drop? No, you can. The only thing you can expect is the
No.
market to fly. Okay, so stuff like that. So you understand that, right? So now you see where those entries came from. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll show you some. I'll tell you how to use the time frames systematically. Okay, because like right now with the examples I'm showing you, we're all over the place, right? For our daily, weekly, monthly, like you have no idea which one to use and when. Okay, but I'm only showing you POIs. Don't worry, I'll show you how to mark them out. Okay, I'll show you how to use the time frames properly. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, look at this one. I got stopped out in here because see, If I sell it here, you know what I would do? I sell this with a standard 5 pips stop loss, but look at the drawdown, it was too much. 27 pips. Okay, so are you gonna anyway take a sell here and then have it above this high, 30 pips stop loss? No. Okay, so you'll get stopped out
No.
there. Okay, I'm only showing you this resistance and stuff. Okay, so look at this. Where did this tap into? Resistance. Dropped. Okay, where did this one tap into? Resistance. Can you see that? Okay, so it keeps on
Yeah.
happening. It keeps on happening. Okay, because I can't make these things up, right? Even if you go to your chart, you'll see the same thing. Okay, so look at this. Where did this tap into? Once again, resistance. See that? Look at the precision. Look at the precision.
Yeah.
Taps and instantly. Okay, it just melts. Okay, I'll show you more. Look at this. Where did Asia tap into? Open close level. See that? Open close level. So let's see. Let's see some more. Where do we have clear examples? Yeah, look at this one. Where did this tap into? Here, before falling. But yeah, it did give a bit of drawdown. But yeah, it still fell. Look at this. Where did this tap into? Here. See that? Keeps on happening. Okay, keeps on happening. Let's see. Let's see some more. Look at this one. Where did this tap into? Use the line chart, you'll have your answers. Resistance. See that? Where did this one tap
Yeah.
into? Where did this one tap into? Use a line chart. What is this? Resistance. Where did this one tap into? Where did this one tap into? Line chart. Resistance. What happened?
So many entries.
So many entries. And also, once we go into trading ranges, okay, properly, you will see that once you take your entries here, you're not just going to randomly close it with 10 to 15 pips. Okay. Once you understand the range, if you take sells here, your final target is here. Okay. You will see that. Okay. Because from internal to external range, liquid and not only that. Okay. Now, where do you think this one tapped into? No idea on this time frame, right? This one right here. No idea. Okay, so that's why we do the multi-time frame analysis all the time. Once again, I'll show you how to use the time frames. Okay, I'm only showing you examples of the POIs. What do we have on the daily? Resistance. Can you see that? The A formation.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay, now if I go back to the 4-hour time frame and go to the candlestick, look where price is tapping into before falling. There it goes. Look at that. Can you see that? Like, you see the precision, right? You see the precision from these levels. Okay, these levels are very strong, the support and resistance levels. Okay, so let's see some more. Yeah, even this one. Where did this step into before falling? These areas, open close levels. See that? Open close levels. Look at this one. Look at this one. Once again, we have this setup. Can you see this? See that?
Yeah.
Stop punt, breakout structure, strong high, liquidity, resistance. Can you see the resistance in here? What happened? Look at that. No drawdown. Look at the entry. Tapped and
Sniper
melted.
entry.
Sniper. That was news. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you some more. Let's see. Yeah, look at this. This right here. Okay, this right here. This was another example. We'll have to go to the daily to understand this one. I'll show that to you later. Okay, but I'll just show it to you right now. If you go to the daily, what is this? What is this? This is an order block, right? That's push down before the push up. What is the order block? Is it this? Is it the whole candle? No, it is the opening price of this, or is the closing price. Can you see that? Okay, can you see that? And then, yeah, I'll just show you a little sneak peek of what we do. What is this? Asia. Asian lows liquidity right above the daily point of interest. Can you see that? What happens?
Yeah.
Look at this. Asian low taken out. Boom. There it goes. Can you see that? Where did it tap into?
Yeah.
Where did it tap into? Into a daily zone. But once you take a sniper entry from here, will anyone know where it came from? No idea, right? Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. So that's why I told you it's a price level that we're dealing with. Okay, we are dealing with price levels, not candles, not wicks. We are dealing with price levels. Okay, so I'll show you some more. Yeah, we were going through this. Let's see proper levels. This tapped into the order block. See now, I told you. What is this? A support, right? This will be a support. Once it breaks, what will it be? It will be a resistance. This is what I told you, right? This is what I told you.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I told you. So then you can mark it out like this. Now, if I put the replay tool here, not here, maybe here. Okay. What is this? This is a support, V formation. See that? V formation.
Yeah.
But once it breaks, see that? Now it is broken. Once it breaks, what happens? It will act as a resistance. Now look at the reaction from that same line. There it goes. Can you see that? Okay, so
Yeah.
this stuff should be marked out on line chart. That's the thing. Okay, this is not the YouTube stuff. Okay, this is very different. This is very different from those stuff. Okay, so I'll show you more. Yeah, same thing. And once a resistance breaks, what happens? First, it will act as what? A resistance. Once it breaks, you know what happens? It will turn into a support.
Support.
Okay, so let me show you an example of that real quick. Yeah, in here. Okay, what is this now? A resistance, right? This will be a resistance.
Yeah.
What happens now? It's broken. Not yet. There it goes. It's broken. Can you see that? A resistance is
Yeah.
broken. Then what will it do? It will act as a support, right? It will act as a support. Now, do you think anyone will have an idea what we're using if we draw a line like this? They'll think it's an imbalance. No. But what happens? Look at this. There it goes. Taps and flies. See that? Resistance breaks,
Yeah.
turns into a support. Okay, turns into a support. Can you understand the new way of marking out the POIs? Let me know before we move on. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Was that clear? Okay, yeah. I know, like, even though you tell me it's clear right now, when you go into the chat, you will have questions. You will have so many questions. Okay, that's okay. That's okay because, like, I'm showing this to you because I've been doing this for a long time. So, and I've been teaching for a long time. So I can show the same examples again and again and again without even opening charts, without even opening charts. Okay, but the thing is, I can't fake this thing, right? It's the same chart we're
Yeah.
dealing with. I'm showing. I'll show you. Let's backtest all of this price action. I'll show you what happened. Okay, I'll show you what happened and all that stuff. So yeah, you understand this, right? About the POIs. Okay, you understand about the POIs. See, like even in here, even though it did not give us the sniper entry, where did it tap into? Resistance. See that? Tapped
Yeah.
and melted. Like look at this. This is Monday. Okay, what is this? What is this? Open close levels, right?
Yeah.
We did have a resistance in here, but I'll tell you why we use this. Because on a lower time frame, this is a strong high. Stop hunt, breakout structure. Can you see that? It's a strong high.
Yeah.
Now, once again, do you think they'll tell you, oh, he used 50% of this week. But are we using that? No. You know what we're
No.
using. Okay, so look at the entry. Taps and melts. See that? It happens. Okay, it happens all the time. Okay, so now let's get back into that example. But now you understand it, right? Support, resistance.
Yeah.
Support broken turns into resistance. We call it SBR. Resistance broken turns into support, RBS. Names aren't necessary. Just understand the logic behind it. Once the A formation breaks, it retests. Once the V formation breaks, once again it comes up, retests, and then fall. Okay, so something like that. Okay. Now if I get back here, so now you know what to do, right? Once you spot the liquidity, what are you going to do? You're going to go into the higher time frames to check what your point of interest is, right? You'll go into the higher time
Yeah.
frame. So because the thing is now, let's say you had a daily zone in here, but a very clear 15-minute order block in here. Are you going to take the trade from the 15-minute? Never.
No.
You'll get stopped out for sure. I can guarantee you that. For sure, you're getting stopped out. Okay, so always make sure to focus on the higher time because I showed you an example of this, right? Once you use the 1 hour, you get stopped out because why? There's a 4-hour zone above it. Okay, so something like that. Yeah, now what could happen is now the market might start to come up. Once it gets here, it might give you reaction. So what happens? Everyone is hyped up about their trade, right? Like posting it on Instagram,
Yeah.
saying it's already 1 to 2 and all that stuff. Okay, but then all of a sudden this happens. Everyone stopped out. Everyone that wanted to sell here gets stopped out. Okay, so now what is this? This was a manipulation, right? It was a manipulation of the sellers, right? But remember,
Yeah.
it wasn't just a manipulation of the sellers. It did something important too, something else that is important. What is that? The market was doing lower highs and lower lows. Now, all of a sudden, you have a move like this. What would you think? Now, you might think it's a bullish breakout structure, right? You might think it's a bullish breakout structure, but that's the thing. If you consider it to be a bullish breakout structure, that is the inducement we're talking about. That is the trap. Okay, people are induced into believing that this right here is a breakout structure point, but it's actually not. Okay, so same exact thing. So people might think it's a breakout structure point. So now when price starts to come down, everyone will start to look for buys from somewhere around here, right? Why? Because they thought that it's a bullish breakout structure. But no, once we go into ranges, you will understand that this right here wasn't really a breakout structure. This was a sweep of internal range liquidity, because the current range we had was from up here to down here, and this right here was only internal range liquidity, not a bullish breakout structure. Okay, so now what you could do is, like what I personally do is, let's say we had a daily zone in here. I go to the 4 hour and then see if I could refine it a bit to the upside. Then I go to the 1 hour and see if I could refine it further. Then I go to 30 minutes, see if I could refine it further. Go to the 50 minutes, see if I could refine it further. But remember, like I'm not going to move a daily level here. That's too much. Just you saw that. You saw how we do the refinements, right? Just slight
Yeah.
refinements. Okay, just slight refinements. And then what I do is I'll sell it. Sometimes my stop loss will be above the lower time frame point of interest, or else just the standard 5 pip stop loss. But if you are new to this, I'll tell you, please make sure you have your stop loss above the strong high. Have it above the strong high. Because the problem with this is, once you have a tight stop loss like this, sometimes the market will wick you out and then fall. So you're falling into victim just like these traders. Okay, so if you have it above the strong high, there's a very little chance of you getting stopped out. Okay, but I know the risk to reward will not be that good. Like the stop loss will be big, but yeah, if you want an increased win rate, put your stop loss above the strong high. Place your stop loss above the strong high, you'll see what happens. Okay, so yeah, from internal range liquidity, where do we target? External range liquidity. Okay, so yeah, then it could come down, might react from these areas, might consolidate. Why? Because there are people who wanted to buy it here, right?
Yeah.
And then this. See that? This is what would happen. So the best thing to do is take your entry above the pool of liquidity, from above the pool of liquidity. Okay, can you understand this scenario? I hope it's clear. You understand this, right? A simple example.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, the only thing what I wanted to show you was this setup right here. Okay, this, this. This is what happens. Okay, and about the POIs. You understand that, right? Resistance, support, SPR, RBS, whatever. Okay, you can call it open close levels, support and resistance, order blocks, breakers, rejection blocks, all of them refer to the same thing. Okay, but something like that. And then same thing in a bullish market. And yeah, I showed you a practical example of this stuff, right? You saw how the market was creating high highs and higher lows. Everyone
Yeah.
will be expecting a higher low from here. So they're buying it here. But we enter where? From where they place their stop loss at, like this. And then we target the external range liquidity. Okay,
Can we do a ping pong stuff?
you can do ping pong stuff, but trust me, once you do the ping once you do that stuff with your live account, you'll be frustrated. You'll be stressed.
Oh,
Okay, because think of it, you're like, why did you choose trading? That is to live a stress-free life, right? Just to live freely,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you are glued to the charts trying to look for trades all day, like all day, where's that freedom? So why would you want to do this ping pong stuff, right? Just 1 or 2 trades a day. If you manage to get a proper trade, I'll show you a very consistent setup that plays out during the London session. Okay, that will be our signature setup. Okay, that will be the textbook setup that we're gonna trade all the time. Okay, so for that, you have to be active during the London session. Okay, you have to be active during the London session. And yeah, I'm pretty sure you can be active during the London session, right? What's that? That's 12:30 p.m. our time. Okay, so we can like sleep until at around 10 a.m. and still come to the charts and take a trade during the London session. So that's the thing. Like we live in the
Yeah.
best zone to trade with the time we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we can trade London and New York, both of them very easily. But for the ones that are
Yeah.
in London, they can't trade the New York session. For the ones that are in New York, they can never trade the London session, because why? That's around 3 a.m. their time. Okay, so that's the thing. We are in the best times to trade. So I'll show you something that plays out very consistently during the London session, and let's go along with that. Okay, so don't get into that ping pong stuff. Just forget it completely, because it's very stressful. I've done that, and no, don't do that. Okay, we'll just focus on one setup a day. If we get that, we're out. We're done for the day. Okay, so that's how you can build the consistency. So yeah, you understand these setups, right? I hope it's clear. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, now I'll show you that setup I told you about that plays out during the London session. Okay, so yeah, from the previous videos, I have gone through it a bit. Okay, but I'll show you today. Let's go through it deeply. Okay, let's talk about that deeply. Okay, but before that, just give me one moment. I'll have some water and come. Okay, give me a second. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me, bro? Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about that London Open setup I told you about. Okay, so for that you have to understand Asia. Okay, you have to understand about Asia because now you would have seen that most of the time Asia does not Asia does not move a lot, right? Asia does not
Yeah.
move a lot, right? It can. I'll tell you what to do if it moves a lot. Okay, but most of the time what happens is Asia just consolidates, right? Like it's in a consolidation phase. So let's say this right here was the Asian session, like this. Yeah, let's say this is Asia. Now what happens? Now there are these breakout traders, right, who are expecting moves like this. In case if the market breaks above the Asian high, they're expecting the whole day to be a bullish day.
Bullish.
Okay, same thing. If it breaks below the Asian low, they're expecting the whole day to be a bearish day.
Bearish.
Okay, so this is what they're expecting. So what they do is above the Asian high, they place buy stops. Okay, below the Asian low, they place sell stops. Because why? Either way, it doesn't matter where the market will go, they think they can make the money. Okay, they think they can make the money. But now there's smart money, right? There's smart money. So what will they do? They know that there's a pool of liquidity resting above this high. Okay, they know that there's a pool of liquidity resting above and below the Asian high. So what they do is now remember Asia always ends at the New York midnight time. I'll tell you the times that I use because what's the date today? It's the 6th, right? Yeah. So from today
Yeah.
onwards, New York, like US also will change their times. Okay, so
Oh,
for like I'll tell you let's talk about timing once we get into charts. Okay, so from today they're changing, like the daylight savings time will change. Okay, so from today New York's kill zone will be at 5:30 p.m. New York session will be at 6:30 p.m. Okay, so it goes forward by 1 hour till I think March or May, I do not remember. Okay, so just talk about that later. But yeah, now Asia ends at the New York midnight time, and after the New York midnight time, what happens is it might, yeah, do something like this. What is that? The false run in the opposite direction, or is the Judah swing, right? The Judah swing.
yeah.
Now, what happens? Everyone starts to buy this, right? Like, because you can see this happening all the time. Trend lines are forming. Okay. Maybe these bullish trend lines are forming, or else maybe order blocks are forming. Okay. Because why? Everyone would say that, okay, there we go, breakout structure. So let's expect a move like this. So it makes sense, right? This is what everyone would expect. But what happens is when the market opens above Asia, okay, so remember for this setup, the main thing we're focusing on is timing. Okay, timing. We're going to use time and price because everyone talks about time and price, right? But no one knows how to use it. Okay, so today I'll tell you how to use time and price properly. Okay, so timing properly. So because time is very important. So what happens? It goes up. So if the market opens above Asia during London kill zone or London Open, what can we expect? Boom, for it to reverse. Okay, so what we do is above the Asian high, we look for a higher time frame point of interest where London kill zone or London could get into. Okay, London kill zone or London could get into. So because what makes this a high quality point of interest is the Asian highs liquidity. Okay, and remember one important thing to note is that you're not just going to randomly sell above Asia or buy below Asia. No, this will be a very high probability setup to go with when the overall trend, or is when the major trend is what? Bearish. Can you understand that? Okay, you're not just going to
Yeah.
randomly buy below Asia. Okay, or sell above Asia. When the market is bullish, are you going to sell above Asia? No. Okay, so you're going to just don't fight the trend. Okay, because as the saying goes, the trend is your friend, right? You have to go with
Yeah.
the trend, not against it. Whenever you try to go against it, it will knock you out. Okay, so you must try to go with the trend itself. So when the market is bearish, this will be a very consistent setup to go with during the London session. Okay, during the London session, this will be a very consistent setup to go with. Okay, so this will be the first type of setup. I'll show you examples. I'll show you so many examples, then you will understand. But you understand this, right? You understand the logic behind what's happening in here. Okay, so that
Yeah.
is what we would do. And same thing in a bullish market. Okay, so what would happen? Now, after the New York midnight time, the market might start to calm down. So what happens? Everyone would expect a bearish day, right? Everyone would expect a bearish day. Maybe trend lines are forming like this, or maybe order blocks are forming in here, supply zones are forming here. Everyone is expecting this to happen. But are we expecting that? No, when everyone is expecting a bearish day, we know that since London has opened below Asia, This was a manipulation, so we can expect it to fly up. Okay, we can expect it to fly up. So once again, what makes this a high quality point of interest is the Asian lows
Liquidity.
liquidity. Okay, and another thing to note is that you're not just gonna randomly buy below Asia. You're gonna do this when the overall trend is what? Bullish. Okay, when the market is in an uptrend. Okay, when the
Yeah.
market is in an uptrend, this is when you look for this setup. Can you understand that? This is when you look for this
Yeah.
setup. Like when, let's say the market is bearish, can you just randomly expect this to happen? No. Okay,
No.
try to ride the trend itself. Never try to go against it. Okay, so this will be the first type of setup. You understand this, right? Because I have talked about this during the previous sessions too, but today let's go deeply into it. Okay, I'll show you how to use this in combination with the ranges. Okay, I'll show you. So you get this, right? So this will be the first type of setup
Yeah.
to go with during the London session. Now that's another type of setup. Okay, there is another type of setup. So something like this. Let's say Asia has done this. What has Asia done? Created a strong low. Can you see that? Asia has
Yeah.
created I'll show you examples. Okay, so these are just drawings. I'll show you examples that way you'll understand. Okay, so what has Asia done? Asia has taken out liquidity and broken structure. So what did we do when Asia wasn't strong? When Asia was consolidating, we were expecting London to take out Asia, right? We wanted London
Yeah.
to take out Asia, a manipulation of Asia. But remember, when Asia is strong, can we expect London to take it out? No. Okay, when
No.
Asia is strong, remember, keep this in mind. Okay, when Asia is strong, specifically on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, an order block or else a rejection block will be created. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, an order block or else a rejection block will be created. Okay, so an order block could be here, a rejection block could be here. So what London kill zone or London open does is it's not going to do this. They're not going to do this. Once again,
Yeah.
remember for this setup too, we're focusing on timing. Okay, London kill zone or London open will come into either one of these zones and then go up, give you a continuation of this bullish move. Can you understand? So this right here, this mitigation happens during London kill zone or London open. I'll show you examples. Okay, so like what I personally do is when there are 2 or more POIs, from the top zones, I'll be waiting for a confirmation entry. So what's the confirmation entry? 50-minute time frame is the lowest time frame I use. I want to see price getting into this level and breaking structure on the 50-minute. Okay, if the 50-minute gives me a breakout structure, I'll be willing to take the confirmation entry like this. Okay, but if it fails, if it does not give me any reaction, I'll directly buy it from the bottom point of interest, from the extreme one, like this. Can you understand that? So always remember, when
Yeah.
there are 2 or more POIs, you're not just going to set buy limits on every one of them. No. Okay, you, like, from the top ones, you wait for reactions, you wait for confirmations. But if price is not giving you any confirmation, we're buying it from the extreme point of interest right away. Okay, so this will be the second type of setup. So remember, this mitigation must happen during London kill zone or London open. Can you understand it? Okay, so it must happen
Yeah.
at that time of the day. I'll show you examples. Okay, so this will be the second type of setup. You get it, right? Okay, that's right. And here, same thing in here. When Asia creates a strong high, you're not going to expect London to run above Asia or below Asia and do all that stuff. No. Instead, I told you, when Asia creates a strong high, go to the 4 hour time frame. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, an order block or else a rejection block will be created. Okay, so what London kill zone or London open does is it comes back up, mitigates that point of interest, and does not manipulate Asia, it mitigates Asia, and then give you a continuation of this bearish move. Can you understand that? Okay, so when there are 2 or more POIs, I told you, from the bottom one, you wait for a breakout structure on a lower time frame, a break like this. If you get this, you get the confirmation entry, or else you sell it from the top point of interest right away. Okay, so this will be the second type of setup. Can you understand that? Hope it's clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the next thing, when there is news, okay, when there's news during the New York session, like high impact news like FOMC or as NFP or these ISM services or something, or CPI, PPI or something like that, you can't expect London to do the major move. Okay, remember that very well. When there is news, you cannot expect this to happen. Asia and London. You can't expect London to do this when there is news. Can you understand? Because when there is news, news makes the major move of the day. Okay, news or else the New York
Yeah.
Open is going to do the major move of the day. So what normally happens is when there is news in a bearish market, Asia might consolidate, London might shoot up. Don't worry, it will also consolidate. Okay, it will also consolidate, and then like they're building up liquidity like this, and then news will do this. Can you understand it? So something like this is what happens when there is news. Asia, London, New York. I'll show you examples. I'll show you examples of all of this. Okay, so can you understand this? This is what would happen.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what would happen when there is news. And same thing in a bullish market. Okay, so Asia might do this. You're not going to expect London to take out Asia and then fly because why? There is high impact news. Okay, London will also lose its momentum, mess around. New York is the one that's going to give you the major move. Okay, so this will be the third one. Okay, so this is not that important because if you fear trading news, don't even look into it. Okay, just stay out. But yeah, this is what would happen. This is what would happen. Can you understand this? Okay, hope it's clear.
Yeah.
And then finally, when Asia is trending, okay, remember when Asia is trending, like without creating any strong highs or lows, let's say Asia is moving a lot because you know that, right? When the market opens, so many manipulations happen. If Asia is moving too much, like once you come into the charts, you'll see that, right? If Asia has moved a lot, no. If Asia has moved too much, stay out of the charts because that day's London Open setup or the London kill zone setup will not be that clear. Okay, it will not be that clear because sometimes London might do this, sometimes it might do this, sometimes it might do this. We have no idea what London is going to do. Okay, so when Asia is moving
Yeah.
too much, just stay out. Just pick some other pair if you really want to trade. Okay, because London setup will not be that clear. Okay, so these will be the different type of setups that we're going to deal with. Okay, I'll show you examples. So you get this, right? You get this. And
Yeah.
the reason I tell you to trade London kill zone or London Open is because remember, mainly for GBP USD and Euro USD, London kill zone or London Open has the most chances of making the high or the low of the day. Can you understand that? Like, for example, if you manage to get in on a trade like this during London Open, 95% of the time, this will be the high of the day. So, like,
Yeah.
what are the perks of catching the high of the day? You're in profits for the next 24 hours, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
that would be something like intraday to intra-week trades. Okay, so something like this. So remember, when the market is bullish, when the market is bearish, if you like manage to get in on a sell from above Asia, you can expect it to be the high of the day because London kill zone or London Open sets the high or the low of the day. If there is no news, okay, remember that very well. So same thing in here. If you manage to get in on a trade like this when the market is bullish without news, 95% of the time you have gotten in on the low of the day. Okay, so something like that. So you get this, right? Now I'll show you examples. Yeah, even news, what did it do? What's that? A manipulation of Asia and boom, started flying. Okay, so this day I did have a setup. Okay, I did have a proper setup, but I did not take it because timing wasn't that good. Right above Asia. Okay, yeah, not here. Right above Asia, what can you see? What is this? Open, close level, rejection blocks.
Yeah.
See that? Okay, so look at the reaction from this. Okay, look at the reaction from this level. I had it marked out, but if London, like we had news too, so I did not want to take the trade. I had this zone marked out, did not think it would play out, but look at what happened. Okay, whoa, there it comes into the Asian low. Can you see that? So ignore this move. Okay,
Yeah.
like yeah, we couldn't get in on the buy. Let that go because you don't have to get in on the major move every day to like make money, right? If you just get in on a sell like this and then have proper targets, you're done. Like this. So let's say you sold it here. Let's say you sold it here with maybe a 5 pip stop loss. And you targeted the Asian low. You have 100 pips. What more do we need, right? 100 pips. Okay, so a
Yeah.
move like that. Okay, so let's see some move. This day, of course, I have no idea what happened. Let it go. Okay, let it go because we had news coming. Okay, we had news coming, but at the time when news was coming, London has dropped so much. See, that's a week. We can't expect news to just suddenly do this, like run above Asia and then fall. Okay, so just stay out. Look at this one. What happened here? Asia. Look at these London highs. Never went above Asia. Why? We have high impact news coming during the New York session. So
Yeah.
who made the high of the day? News. Okay, this was
Yeah.
FOMC. Okay, this was FOMC. So when this happens during news, you will know what happens. Okay, this is what happens all the time. Shoots up and then it comes down. Okay, why is it coming down? Because the market is bearish due to the major breakout structure. Okay, and yeah,
Yeah.
I told you, right? What happens? What happens when there is news? I told you, Asia will do this, London will do this, news will do this. I told you, right? Look at this.
Yeah.
Asia, London, news. Same exact thing. But now you might be wondering, okay, where did this tap into? Where did this tap
Yeah.
into? Let me show you. Multi-time frame. Okay. Go to the daily. What do we have? Once this breaks, what will it act as? Resistance.
Resistance.
Right? Resistance. So now use a line chart. A support is broken. What will it do? It will act as a resistance.
Resistance.
Draw a line. Go to a lower time frame. Let's check what's gonna happen. Okay, look what's gonna happen now. Okay, go to the 50-minute maybe. There we go. Liquidity building up below it. Expect news to come here. Okay, expect news to come here, not London, because we have high impact news coming. Because let's see. If I go to the Forex factory, this is the first. Yeah, look at this. On Monday, let's check Monday. This is October. Oh, let's see Monday. Give me a second. 1st of November to, let's say, maybe 10th of November or something. Okay. Where is Monday? We can't find Monday. Ah, that was 39th, right? I'm sorry, 29th of October. Give me a second. Yeah, 31st of October. There you go. Now, can you see this? This day on Monday, we do not have any high impact news during the New York session. Okay, so we can
Yeah.
trade the London session safely. But on Tuesday, what do we have? High impact news. See that? ISM or something. I don't know the names, but just look for the red folders. That's more than enough. Okay, so we have something. So we have something now. This is Tuesday. So can we expect London to go above Asia and then melt? No. We expect news
No.
to do the move. Okay, so yeah, what I did was this. Sold it from the daily point of interest. You saw what the daily point was, right? Now,
Yeah.
yeah, what is that? That was a daily, what's that? SPR, or is support broken turns into resistance, or else it's a daily order block. Okay, it's simply a daily order block, whatever. And then you target the Asian low or as external range liquidity like this. Okay, so what happens? What happens? Look at this. Okay, not yet, not yet. Patiently wait, patiently wait. There it taps. Where did it tap into? Do you think anyone will have an idea where it tapped into? Like when you have
No.
all this stuff in here, you had an odd block here, you had an odd block here, you had order blocks here. Why this? You see why that is, right? It's a daily level. It's a daily level. Okay, so there it goes. Taps and then there it comes. Boom. Can you see the entry? Okay, so this
Yeah.
Asia, London, news. Exactly that is what happened. You saw that, right? Same exact thing. Okay, so that was Tuesday. That was Tuesday. Let's see some more. Look at this one. This day, what did Asia do? Asia created what? A strong high. Can you see that? Asia has created a strong high, and we are safe to trade the London session this day because see, this is the 31st of October, and that was a Monday. We had no news, no high impact news, right?
Yeah.
So we can safely trade the London session. So now, what has Asia done? Asia has created a strong high. So when Asia creates a strong high, where will our focus go into? I told you to the 4-hour time frame, right? Let's go to the 4-hour.
Yeah.
What do we have? What do we have? A rejection block, open close levels. Can you see that? Okay, we had this open close levels in here on that strong high itself like this. And then timing. The next thing is timing, right? I told you. At what time of the day are we expecting price to get here? London kill zone was at
London
11:30. Yeah, London kill zone was at 11:30. Or else London session that is at 12:30. Right? At 12:30. So look what happens. Okay, patiently wait. Can you see what happened? In
Yeah.
between that time of the day, there it gives you the mitigation. Okay, gives you a mitigation. Stop loss. Yeah, mine was around a 4.2 pip stop loss with spreads. Yeah, something like this.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. What is the timing of Asian session?
Actually, I'll tell you because right now the times are changed because I told you the New York times are changed.
Daylight saving.
Yeah, daylight savings because those days, like on October until the 6th of November, this was the time I used 2:30 to 9:30 a.m. Indian time. Okay, but right now right now it's different. Okay, right now it's different due to the daylight savings time change. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. Just if when you're marking out Asia, set your time to New York time and then mark it out from 5 p.m. to New York midnight time. Can you see that? 5 p.m. to New York midnight time. So when you're marking out Asia, always mark out from 5 p.m. to New York midnight time. Okay, so something like that. Okay, let's see. Now you see, you see what happened here, right? In between that time of the day, there it gives you the
Yeah.
mitigation. First target will be what? The Asian low. Second target will be the external range liquid. So what happens? Look how quick the move is. Boom, you're done. If you're done with the Asian low, you're done. Or else leave the rest into the external range liquid. Why once again to the external range liquid? Because major breakout structure bearish, which means London
Yeah.
will push it down once again to the external range liquid. So what happened? What happened? There it melts. See that?
Yeah.
You see what happened there? Okay, so something like that. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it's easy. I'm not gonna say it was
Goal
a
for
very
the
easy
week.
setup. Yeah, just what? Yeah, if you risk 1%, that's all you need for the week. Okay, that is all you need for the week. Okay, so this day, of course, I have no idea what happened, but I'll show you. Yeah, once again, this was a trade one of my students took, not me. Let me put the replay tool in here. Yeah, he
You
was the
have
one who
a
sent
group
me.
or something?
Yeah, like I just personally deal with them. I do not use groups because groups are not my
Oh,
thing. So, yeah, what is this? Took out the Asian low, came down and created a strong low. Stop hunt, breakout structure, or a break in here.
we can trade on the 15-minute time frame.
Yeah, you can trade on 50 minute times. That's fine. But you have to know the higher time
Oh,
frame direction. Okay, I'm only showing you this example. Okay, nothing else. So what happens now?
oh,
Liquidity. Right below it, what do we have? A support. Can you see that? We have this
yeah,
formation once again. See? So what happens? Now you can buy it here if you want. I did not do this once again. Okay, I only saw this once. He sent it to me. What happened? There it taps and flies right away. See that? Takes out the low and then there it goes up. Okay, so I had no trades this day because this was a bit late though, because this right here happened right at London Open. Okay, this move happened right at London. I just wanted to take a direct trade. I did not know what the point of interest was, so no trades for me that day. Okay, I'll show you the losses too, because not only the winning trades, because even with this you will take losses. I have to show you that too. Not gonna like sell dreams. I'm not gonna tell you every single London Open you're gonna win. No, you will
yeah.
lose. You will lose. Okay, so can't help it. Okay, so I'll show you another one. Look at this. Below Asia, on the 4-hour time frame, we had a support. Can you see that?
Yeah.
We had a support, but we were inside of a daily order block this day. So price can still push down, right? Look at that. We were inside of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So there are chances of it pushing back down, right? So is it safe for me to like buy inside of a inside of a bearish order block? Not safe, right? So that's why
No.
I decided to do a confirmation entry. If I go to the 15-minute, what happened? Look at this. It came down into the 4-hour point of interest and did the stop hunt and gave the break. See that? So there we get the
Yeah.
confirmation. So then what do we have in here? A support, right? We have a support. So what happens? Comes down, flies up. See that? Buy it here, stop loss
Yeah.
here, target here, or else here. You're done. Okay, so something like that. I'll show you. Let's go to Euro USD. Let's check some examples on Euro USD because you might trade that as well. This day I have no idea what happened. Same thing in here. This day we had news, so you can see what happened, right? Asia, London, and New York news. See that news? Okay, so let's see. Let's see. We were going through this stuff on GBP USD. Where did we stop? Yeah, look at this one. A very nice setup. Asia, London, New York. At what time does the New York kill zone open? 4:30 p.m. Right? Look at the move.
Yeah.
Look at the move. 4:30 p.m. I told you, when there is news, okay, see, this was Tuesday. You saw how there was high impact news on Tuesday. When there is news, can you trade the London session? No, not
No.
safe. Okay, not safe. So the best thing to do is trade the New York session. So what happened? Asia, London, news. Boom. Okay, so look at this one. This was Monday. I showed you, right? There were no high impact news, right? There were no high impact news.
Yeah.
So what has Asia done? Asia has created a strong high,
Strong.
liquidity taken, structure broken. So when Asia creates a strong high, where will your focus go into? I told you to the 4-hour time frame, right? To the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. What do we have? A resistance or else a rejection block. Can you see that? We had a rejection
Yeah.
block. Okay. Now, yeah, this day I was trading on MT4 with my phone. Okay. So then that day I saw on the 5-minute time frame, we had another resistance lining up with this level. Can you see this? 4-hour one is here. We can do a slight refinement of it into here. Can you say? A
Yeah.
slight refinement. Okay. Slight refinement into here. And then what comes next? Timing, right? Timing. I told you at what time of the day should price get here? 11:30 or else 12:30. Now this was those days.
12:30.
Right now the times are different. I'll give you the times that we use right now at the end of the session. Okay. And then most importantly, we have some liquidity right below the point of interest. Can you see that? A swing high.
Yeah.
Okay. And now one obvious thing is that the Asian low will get taken out, right? Because of the relatively equal lows. Can you see that? Okay. So then what we can do is we can sell it, target the Asian low. So that's more than enough, right? You have what? 37 pips. Okay. 37 pips.
Yeah.
Stop loss will be around 5 pips, the standard one. Like this. Okay. So let's see what happened. Look at the timing. Okay. Look at the time. This is what we focus on mainly. Okay. So look what happens. 11:30. Right at 11:30. Can you see that? Tapped,
Yeah.
gave us a reaction, went back up. I got stopped out at break even. Okay, so very unfortunate day for me because at 12:30, once again, it went into that price level. See that? But eventually, I did come back into the targets. Did you see where the entry came from? Do you think anyone will have an idea where it came from? No idea, right? In the
No
middle
idea.
of nowhere. Okay, but can you see the precision? Like
Yeah.
like once again, I can't make these things up, right? You saw the precision. Taps and it
Yeah.
melts. Okay, like even if you did not do the refinement, even then you had a nice entry. See that? Even then,
Yeah.
if you use the 5 pip stop loss, you had a nice entry. So like it can't even get any better than this, right? This is enough. This is more than enough. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so let's see. Let's see some more. Look at this one. One of the cleanest days ever. I only managed to get in on the sell. Okay, but I had the buy marked out too. Look at this. What has the Asia done? Asia has created equal highs. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let me mark it out. And Asian low has created what? Equal lows. So now very obvious, right? Both of them are gonna get taken out. Okay. So
Yeah.
now let me go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's check for POIs there because there was nothing on the daily, obviously. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. What did we have? Below Asia, did we have any point of interest close by? No, because Asia has already tapped into the support that was in here during Asia.
Yeah.
And you can see that, right? But above Asia, what do we have? A rejection block or as the open close levels as well. Can you see that? You can see that, right?
Yeah.
We have that. So below Asia, nothing on the 4-hour. Then let's check the 1-hour. What do we have on the 1-hour time frame right below the Asian low? Support.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Support. Okay, so let's mark it out like that. And then what's the next thing we focus on? The final thing. Timing, right? Timing. Okay, so at what time? 11:30, 12:30. Can you understand this? Can you see how I'm
Yeah.
doing the same exact thing every day? Same exact thing. Okay, so what happened now? Patiently wait until the time is right. There we go. Now we are interested in trading because London kill zone has opened. Now, yeah, I had this marked out, but I could not take the trade because I was focused on sells. Because why was I focused on sells? Because the major breakout structure was bearish, right? So the best thing to do is look for
Yeah.
sells itself. You see that, right? Okay, so we will go with sells itself. Okay, so stop loss can be placed where? Below this order block. 2.1 pips, see there? Below that order block. Still on the 50 time. And where can you target? Asian high. Can you understand setup? You could have done this.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? Comes down. There it goes. Look at the time. Right at 12:30 on the dot. Okay, right at 12:30, there it taps into our point of interest. Asian low taken out, and then what happens? Done.
Fake move.
See that? You're done. But are you gonna hold the runners or anything? No, no, no. Don't trust it. Okay, do not trust these moves. Let it go. What I did was I sold it. Okay, I sold it. 5 pips stop loss. Where am I targeting? All these lows. Because why? We are still bearish. This right here was
Yeah.
only a fake move that happened with London. Who cares if it is fake or not, right? If you can make the money out of it. Okay, we don't care. Like if I managed to get in on the buy, I wouldn't even focus on the sell. But I thought the buys might be risky because the major breakout structure was bearish, so the market might want to come down. Okay, so something like that. So what happened? Done. The buy and the sell. You saw how quick it is, right? When the time is right. Because you don't want to
Yeah.
take a trade and then wait for hours until it goes into your targets, right? You know how frustrating that is because we're humans, right? If we are in a
Yeah.
trade, what do? Until it goes into the targets, we check the phone. Like, am I wrong? No, right? We do that. Even I do it. Okay, until it goes into targets, we check the phone, we check the computer, we check everything to see if
Yeah.
it is gone
Yeah.
there. Okay, so if you are trading, like let's say during the late New York session at around 11 p.m. or 10 p.m., you know that the market dies at that time, right? There's no volatility. So imagine if you take a trade at that time of the day, you'll wait until it's early in the morning until it goes into your target. But if you manage to take a trade at this time of the day, it's okay even if you
Yeah.
keep checking your phone because this is the time when the momentum kicks in. Maximum it will take only around 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours. Okay, so that's about that. So always make sure you try to trade during London kill zone or London open. So you
Okay.
understood both of those setups, right? The buy and the sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You saw what happened.
Yeah.
Went below Asia, went up, went above Asia, came down. Okay, so why did London why did it fall off? Because the market was still bearish. Okay, the market was still bearish. That was that day. Okay, so let's see some more. This day, of course, I have no idea what happened, but Asia created a strong low. So on the 4 hour time frame, let's see what was there. I told you. What gets created on the 4 hour time frame when Asia creates a strong low? I told you an order block or else a rejection block, right? I told you
Yeah.
that happens all the time. So what do we have created during Asia? Order block and a rejection block. Okay. Or else in support and resistance terms, resistance broken turns into support and a support.
Yeah.
See that? So we have that. You can call it whatever you want to. And yeah, what can we expect London to do? Tap into either. I hate days like this because like I'm not good with these confirmation entries. Like I miss them. Okay, I miss them. So look at what happened this day. Okay, let's mark out the timing to 11:30, 12:30. Okay. Why are we expecting a buy now? Because Asia is a strong low, liquidity taken, structure broken. Okay, so what happens? Okay, there we go. Time is good. 12:30 comes the fake move right into the order block. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right into the
Yeah.
order block. So I missed it because I was waiting for a confirmation. What happened? Fly. Oh, see that? Where did the move come from? Do you think anyone will have an idea? No, but you know where it came from.
No.
Right from the 4 hour order block. Okay, so you see the importance of higher time frames, right? I'll show you more.
Yeah.
Higher time frames are it is the key, okay, not the lower time frames. This day I have no idea what happened. Asia was just trending because what I did was now Asia created a strong high this day. So you know what happens, right? We go to the 4 hour time frame and we mark out the order block and the rejection block. We wait for price to react from either one of these zones. But
Yeah.
London did not do that. So can I force a move? Like if London doesn't do that, can I push it up? No, right? Only thing I
No.
can do is just let it go. Okay? 11:30, 12:30. Was my setup clear? No, if my setup isn't clear, then why should I trade it, right? Just let it go. Let it go. That's why I told you. Just focus on one consistent setup, master it, because as you gain consistency, as time goes by, all you have to do is trade the same setup but with a bigger lot size. That's all you have to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Bigger lot size. Okay, so don't try to trade every single setup you see. Okay, that's where you that's the mistake you can do. Okay, something like that. So let's see. Look at what happened here. Asia created equal highs. Look at the time of the reversal. Okay, 11:30, 12:30.